Welcome back, fellow gamers, to my playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with BlackICE and Third Reich Events installed. I hope everything is going well in your lives, and we're getting ready to play, though. And already the first tick, we're going to let that roll. No. Yes. No. No. Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. That was one of the big shocks of the world at the time, quite honestly. Technically, it actually broke the Anti-Comintern Pact. We don't really have events for that yet, and most of the members of the Anti-Comintern Pact sort of ignored it. But after the war with the Soviet Union started up again, they renewed with all the members plus more, all the original members plus more members for the Anti-Comintern Pact. I fully believe that just given the right conditions, Stalin was planning on attacking. As well, he was a pragmatic sort of guy, but I think he was planning on it. So this is cynical on both sides, because obviously Hitler was planning on attacking. So, but we'll go for that. One of these good semi-motorized divisions, put it there. What do we have here? There we go. Build a few of these. This is a too light of a Jaeger division, but built a few just to guard the border down here. And we'll form a corps up to later take on the Yugoslavs. Need some good light infantry to go in there with them. I like mixing flying boats and naval air for anti-submarine patrols, coastal patrols, propulsion advance. That's this torpedo techs, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so we've got a free. Let's take a quick look here. It's been a few days. What we might want to research. Keep our national techs and others moving forward. Okay, we'll grade the tree. Britain, no, and no. Unit command and control. Yes, okay, we'll pause for these. 16 infantry divisions, 2nd Weller creation. Okay. Doesn't give us actually all that number of infantry divisions. What it does do is give us the headquarters and the unique symbols for all those divisions. And you'll see them all over the map here now. And we can use these headquarters as you know, to build more divisions, but leave the headquarters off, and that way they'll have cool symbols, better headquarters, cool names, all that kind of stuff. Okay, we need some error here on these, so we'll create a group of 3 here. In Breslau. Attach them to Fliegerkorps Ost. It's 77, I think we already have. Let's stick it with them if we can find it here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and let's see. So we're moving along with all of that. Okay, let's create a few more. Units here. Let's do a nice semi-motorized division. And we're going to do just what we were talking about before and leave off the HQ and put it with one of those other HQs that just arrived. So we'll do that. Put that in production. Torpedo. And 2 more transports. We'll kick these to the bottom. Stuff just popped up there. Danziger War. No, we're not going to war right now with Danzig. We're going to wait a little bit. Yes, we want the German-Soviet commercial agreement. This was a double-edged sword for Germany as well as for the Soviet Union. My understanding is Germany provided, I don't know if it was under this agreement or an earlier one, with 1 or more large steel rollers where they would be able to bend hot steel. You roll through things that the Soviet Union could not build, and by providing the Soviet Union this, they were able to like do the rounded, because they weren't cast, they were you know, flat steel that had been worked rounded for like the nose of the T-34s and some of the other tanks that they needed. This large steel roller plant things that the Germans provided them with, and so they, you know, they were an industrializing country, but they didn't have all the high tech, and a lot of nations wouldn't sell them some of the bigger, heavier stuff. So this was good for the Soviet Union. It was also good for Germany because it continued to supply them with resources. So yes, and it's excellent, and so we will lose 2% of our IC until the terms are up, but we'll get more crude and more rare materials, and we'll lose some 5% of supplies and some money paying for it. But overall, it's good for us, so we're going to go with that. And the 7th Totem Kampf Standard. I think that's here in Linz, is it? Yeah. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. Attach it to the SS Corps in Prague. There we go. Okay. Danzig S. Deutsch. Danzig, modern day Gdansk, at the time was greatly a German speaking majority. They were Polish by passport, if you will. Well, no, actually they were the free city of Danzig at the time, I should say. And Poland sort of wanted to think it was theirs. There were Polish troops stationed in Danzig. You saw earlier the Zapot event, which is just, Zapot is right up there. And a lot we've discussed on some of the message board forums. Oh, it was a conflict over Danzig. No, it started, the trigger, what Germany was demanding was the Danzig corridor. It would go roughly through these two provinces here. Germany was willing to give them, have them build a railroad and a road that, would be fenced off or whatever, so that they could move goods through without going through German customs or whatever. But they were claiming this because if the Germans just wanted Danzig, they could have orchestrated up a local uprising with rocks and Molotovs, cocktails that would have besieged the Polish garrison in their barracks and starved them out. And if they tried to come out and deal with it, the Heimwehr Danzig, which was a locally raised SS unit, there was also some SA elements in Danzig, as well as they shipped in to reinforce the Heimwehr Danzig, some other SS units, so that they could have engaged there. And then if the Poles then reacted to the fighting by sending other troops from outside of Poland, or outside of Danzig, from Poland in there, Germany could have easily then pushed some divisions in there and started a local war. No way could, without it making it look like Polish aggression against the free city of Danzig and the people's will there, had held Danzig. It was just not a practical thing without starting a generalized war, which would have been in Hitler's interest. So what Hitler was trying to orchestrate was to get this, to not so much get this corridor, that's what they were demanding, but what he wanted was an excuse to have a war with Poland, a training war, the one that he didn't have with Czechoslovakia, and keep the French and British out. And obviously we just had that Molotov-Ribbentrop pact, which was sort of publicized as like a non-aggression pact and trade agreement type stuff, not the secret part of dividing up Poland when the time came. And it also acknowledged these three states, particularly. I don't know if it acknowledged Finland, but it definitely acknowledges the Baltic states there as being in the Soviet sphere. Basically saying Germany wasn't going to go to war over them. So this is part of Germans' propaganda campaign to justify their war with Poland. So it disrupts our relations with them. Okay, I've been waiting for some of these. We're getting a bunch of these historical Harris groups and Harris. So I'm not going to right now try to match up historical commanders or anything, but we've got them. They will give us a lot of immersion factors, and I personally like them a lot, love them. Another large artillery piece in production there, or a bunch of them. Wow, 3 of them. Okay, we'll kick these guys down at the bottom there. And so now that we have this, okay, let's see, we're going to send, no, I didn't read it that carefully. We're going to send the 7th Army here, I think. We're going to attach them to Harris Group Sud. Fifth Army, I think we'll send over here. No. I want to. send them over here. A little bit of lag there. First army, we're going to send him over here. There we go. 14th Army. Okay, we've moved from a regional land power to global land power because of these additional units here. Big thing is organizational regain rate is improved by 15%, which is great, as well as 5% greater land organization. Taking greater IC efficiency to maintain it, but it's worth it. Okay, Dietrich Eckhart, the 5th Standard. That may be the one, no, the second one in Linz. Yeah. Yeah, we'll attach him to the one here in Prague. Okay. Railroad network advanced. That's great. So we're going to improve the road network. And yes, we're going to do that. Improve our situation there. And we're going to get ready here for our eventual Norway campaign here. Mountain units are good for this type of activity because with the pack artillery they should be able to land fairly quickly and efficiently. Speed-wise, looters, good. And fairly light transport weight. Okay. The effects, additional railroad. The Ascari pensions, we're going to pay them, have to, because we started. The 6 Totenkopf Standard. The one up here in Berlin. I guess not. We're going to move him down here. Yeah, he's the one here in Prague. Good. Oh, good. We got some blueprints. Gun position, twin engine planes to level 3. Let's take a quick look at that. I always sort of like to see how much they jump. Okay. Gun position. So we're doing much better with that. And our other Jaeger division here. So this will give us a core of 4 light infantry divisions down here. We'll get a corps headquarters down here fairly soon and organize that up. Okay, money for crude oil. No. We're already tree unit training increased to 3. radar for cruisers will do that. Airborne unit training, we'll let that go on as well. Airborne is critical to have the best quality you can, because it comes down to a quality thing than a quantity generally. Okay, so we've got those done. Don't really care what Mexico wants. Airborne unit command and control, let that go on as well. Single engine research. Switch it over here to aircraft engines. Infantry unit combined arms advance. Another Schnell boat unit. Flotilla will form. Ah, yes, okay. We gotta do that. Organize the Großdeutschland Regiment at the moment. It's formed out of the Wachtruppen, which was an elite guard unit in Berlin, theoretically for the head of state. Hitler doesn't trust them as much as he trusted his SS guards, so getting these guys out here is move them into an elite combat formation is useful in that way. And they were sort of, you know, picked troops, highly motivated type guys, so when you equip them well, they become very quickly elites. Okay. Let's see, do we have... Yeah, here in Breslau, we'll give them there. And 2 more garrison divisions ready to go where we need them when the time comes. These are just light units, good for holding ports, scaring the allies away, that kind of thing. Because I don't want them to think, oh hey, there's nobody at the port, must send in a group, and then they suicide. Okay, there we go. Now, with the additional naval vessels there, and army, we've now moved from a land power to continental military power as well. So, help us with manpower, leadership, organization regain rate. British blueprint stolen. Air superiority tactics to level 4. Again, I'd like to take a look and see. So that's here. So okay, good. So we'll be able to better deal with air superiority. Oh, well, we should have left it open because we're going to improve our yeah. Naval strike tactics will improve. More than that? 44. Oh, okay. Well, also their nav tactics there. And the air show, yes. This will help us out. This costs us a bunch of supplies, money. That's one of the reasons we stock up with so much money here. We'll do the air show. Once we get through, we've already done the land maneuvers. Once we've done the air show, and then we'll have some naval maneuvers. We've increased the size of our armed forces, so we need to balance this out here. And a lot of upgrades to do. So we're going to get on that. Stick it here. Put just a basic guy, attach him to Flieger Corps Ost. I must have passed it. Maybe not, I don't know. You guys watch me pass it by and... There it is. Okay, now. We're gonna set these guys up here as a night interceptor squadron. The twin-engine airplanes have good long range, but they're not the best dogfighters. So if we can... I don't think we have any good night guys available right now. So we get a reconnaissance guy. So if we can intercept British night bombers quickly and efficiently, that will help us. And when the war comes, we're going to set them to only operate at night, so that if the British send up their fighters, and if they're not, you know, so good at night, they won't do so well. But we'll take out their bombers, or help take them out. Well, we've achieved high popularity. That's always good. Police Division, yes, this is a division formed for the SS, made up of policemen that were under Himmler's control. It's sort of, but not like the order police that are around here, where these guys, the OPO. They were set up as a combat outfit, and unfortunately, they eventually, and they are under the SS control. They eventually get formally part of the SS, and like I say, unfortunately here, BlackICE doesn't do a very good job. They should have not that the police battalion isn't right to have there. They should have a proper combat battalion, because they were a proper combat unit. A lot of them were military, you know, I don't know if veterans is the right term, but they had done military service already and were equipped as such. Yes, we will build our Tannenberg headquarters. Shall we? 1,000 supplies, how long? 5% for till November. Nope, we're not going to do it. I'm not going to build all the... I'm not planning on building all of the Fuhrer headquarters. Some of them, yes, not all of them. Yeah, radar for capital ships. If they're going to go in and fight, we want them to do. The SD needs an HQ. Yes, it does. Yes, we want to do this. This is the Werkres Phase 3. I guess I can tell you now, I'm planning on holding off on my invasion of Poland until the spring of 1940. And just basically with that, we're going to hit Poland fast and hard, and then rapidly shift forces for a summer invasion of France. So we're going to do that. A little off his story from there. I don't play any sort of idea of strict history, but I don't go around crazy and start 1936 invade Denmark or something. Okay, another HQ. This one was part of the Western defenses, so what we'll do is we'll take him here. The 6th Army, we'll send him over here, and he'll end up being some of the HQ setups over here. Here's Group A, 12th Army list, the Siegfried line. Okay, we'll send him over there. Frieder von Bock was involved in Western, yeah. Here's Group B. Keep bouncing these people around. I normally had shifted all the command structures over, but now that we have a Western and an Eastern command structure. Yeah, so he's more here, I think. Yeah, let's send him up here. Okay, here's Group A Commando, or A Commando. We will send him over here. Okay, I think this is a good time to... Oh, well, let's go for these. Yes, upgrade the Verfungen Troop. Basically, it's creating the proper Waffen SS. So the SSVT division. Taking those other brigades that we have around and forming them into a proper division. And how little the outside world, including the military, the army, knew about them, is I was reading quite some time ago that when one of the division was, I forget who it was assigned to for the Polish invasion, it was assigned one of major German generals, not Guderian, but somebody, I forget who, came over to sort of find out what this unit was. They didn't even realize it was like a motorized unit. They just thought it was a bunch of SS, Allgemeine SS, the regular sort of guys in black, when there's, and just thought they were getting a bunch of like policemen or something, not a proper division. They were quite surprised when they came in and inspected it, that it was. We're not going to do this now. We want our ICs. That it was such, but they still, even though they, you've got artillery and you got, trucks and all that, good stuff there. They still didn't know what quality of troops that it was. Okay, like I say, good place to stop. I hope you've enjoyed this. We will continue with another episode very shortly.